Back here on TYT Sports, Mario Melker is joining us here, man. What a great day it is on TYT Sports. And we've got Joaquin, of course, on the end, mixing up the panel. So we are going to talk about the competition, all of which I have no chance of winning at this point in my career. I think I could maybe get a Scottish League title if I tried again, but I don't think so. But we have the Champions League, the World Cup, and Premier League are domestic titles that we're going to talk about. So that probably includes Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga. What competition at this point in world football is the most important to win, Mario?
I've won titles myself.
Yeah.
So leagues, I know how it feels.
Yeah.
But for me, the World Cup, there is only one stage. Guys, when you play for your team, it's great. You want to do the best. But playing for your country, there's nothing more than that.
Yeah.
And what is the highest you can win? Is winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
So the World Cup, that sets you apart for years, and you will always be in that selective group. And unfortunately, I'm not in that group, but I still will say that is the best title to win. Any soccer player or any player that tells you different is probably lying to himself.
Yeah, so this is a talking point that I love to go into as well, is because we have these comparisons of all the world's best players. You have arguably considered the best German player ever in Franz Beckenbauer, who won the World Cup. Arguably the best ever football player in Argentina, Diego Maradona, who won the World Cup for them, arguably single-handedly. And then we have Lionel Messi, who has been considered the best footballer to have ever graced the game, but still hasn't got a World Cup accolade. What do you think, Joaquin? Do you think that for Messi to be considered the best ever, he has to get that title?
No.
No?
I don't think he needs that to be considered the greatest ever. I mean, I think his stats, if he continues the output that he's been doing these past couple seasons, and continues playing at this level, he's going to have 5, 6 Ballon d'Ors. We can still, he'll tell you that he needs to win the World Cup because he knows it himself. He wants to be, he wants to surpass everybody that's at all these levels. But you can only do so much. He was carrying that team this summer in Brazil, with players injured. Angel Di Maria wasn't playing in the final. You're missing these vital key components. Some of those are kind of really out of your control.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree that Messi carried that team. I think that Cristiano Ronaldo comes under a lot of scrutiny in the World Cup. And I can hear my Ronaldo and my Messi fanboys shouting at me, "You're a Ronaldo fanboy." I just think that Cristiano Ronaldo has got a horrendous team to play under. I wouldn't say it's a little harsh, but I don't think the Portugal team are anywhere near the quality of Argentina. I think that Messi has a great team around him. I think Di Maria, I admit, there was one. I think Pablo, our panelist, came on and said that
Di Maria and Aguero being out and not fit.
But Aguero coming back, I think that he could have exactly played, because you look at that argument as well on the Germany side. Marco Reus wasn't playing in the final either, another crucial player. I just think that the argument of Messi, perhaps if he had those guys coming back, could have perhaps won the World Cup. I think that he had a good enough team there to win it with him. They were so close to it.
I agree.
They were so
but you
close
didn't think the German team was better?
I thought the German team were better overall, and I think they deserved to win it. But I don't like the argument that I've heard before of previous, like that this was that Messi kind of carried the team through, because I thought the best player in Argentina in this competition was Mascherano. I thought he was Argentina's best player in the World Cup. I think he saved them a lot.
But the main man that was in form at that tournament and was a downer for Argentina was Di Maria.
Yeah.
When the tournament kicked off, he was so good at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So all the eyes were on him, and he got injured just on the moment that Messi needed him really bad.
Yeah.
And that's why I say Di Maria would have won and would have made that team a better team by playing, and I think he was going to be the star man. Even a bigger star man than Messi at that point, at the form he was in. We're not talking about Di Maria now.
Yeah.
We're talking about Di Maria coming off of that season of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on fire.
He was frighteningly good.
He was really good.
And so to the World Cup, as you said, is a tournament that we all are in agreement that's the number one tournament to win. I think it's that tournament that's the peak trophy. But obviously the next in line, I would probably say, is Champions League, right?
All day.
And Champions League is something, of course, Messi and Ronaldo and some of the world's best players have won, and it's a tournament that is consistently considered to be the best. But where do you place the next ones in line? Because we have this argument of whether La Liga or the Premier League is a better trophy. What about you, Mario? Because I know you came so close to winning Premier League title for Chelsea. So how important how different is it winning Premier League over La Liga at the moment?
I think someone should only talk about the experience that is close to home. And that's why I think for me to judge and going to the Premier League will be a better title for me to judge.
Yeah.
We forgot the European Cup actually, because that's not a bad cup, guys. That's actually my second.
Yeah, nice.
So my third one, I will pick the Premier League because that's the league that is close to my heart. But away from that, it doesn't mean I disrespect any other league.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're great too. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
If you can play for Barcelona, Real Madrid, come on,
Right.
Bayern Munich,
Yeah.
it's not bad, right? Or Juve or Milan.
Yeah. So, and what about in another instance? We always go back to Ronaldo and Messi. But I love having this conversation. Ronaldo has won La Liga trophies and Premier League titles because the Premier League for me is so fantastic because there's so many teams battling it out for that competition. There's at least 5 or 6. I think in La Liga last season you had Atletico Madrid, Barcelona and Real Madrid, but this season, as much as Atletico Madrid are putting up a good fight, what I notice is the sheer difference in goal difference. There's 30 goals of difference between Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atletico. 30 goals between them two. I think this year it's definitely going to be a 2-horse race. So does it hinder a player's sort of recognition if they haven't won both La Liga trophies and Premier League trophies?
I think it's tough to say that. Some players don't play in both leagues.
Yeah.
We have certainly seen plenty of guys that have been considered world beaters that were great on their stage. You got guys like, let's say, some star players that played in Italy. You got Pavel Nedved.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of guys Totti, Del Piero, other guys who just played in La Liga who have amazing careers. Was the original Ronaldo not as good because he didn't play in the Premier League?
Yeah.
He did it on the international stage.
Exactly.
And he did it in these other leagues. So for me, the differentiating between the different leagues, as long as you're playing in one of the top leagues and winning there, that's what matters. And look, going back to the point about the Champions League, look, like you said, Ryan Giggs can't change the fact that he was Welsh. I mean, he probably could have found a way to play for England if he wanted to. But some of these guys can't control aspects. You play for a small team. Maybe you're never going to make a World Cup. I mean, it looks like the Welsh team may be good enough that they will be in a big tournament soon. They're doing well in Euro qualifying.
Yeah.
But normally these guys, you would say originally a couple of years ago, the only way Gareth Bale is going to win one of these big things is winning a domestic league or winning a Champions League, which he did with Real Madrid. And that's under his control because he can be a good enough player where he can play at the biggest club in the world and win the biggest prize. He can win, year in, year out. So for me, I mean, the World Cup is always, the beautiful thing. That's the golden Messiah. That's what we want.
Yeah.
If you can, but if you're an American footballer, I hope that in my lifetime, the United States can find their way into a semifinal or a final of a World Cup.
Yeah.
But am I counting on that? No. But what a player could think is they'd be good enough to play for maybe a Barcelona, a Real Madrid, a Manchester United, a Chelsea, and win a Champions League. So I think that's a much more attainable task for a professional
It's a good point
footballer.
what he's making, especially because a lot of people now are asking me about the training ways, how we set up the system compared to how we have it in America and how you have it in England. And then when you compare it to Holland and Spain and France, it's a different way how we train, Our way of setting up training is like, sometimes their focus is so much on system, but we always say, start from the begin, guys.
Yeah.
That's what you have to learn. You have to learn, you understand. You can do a lot of tricks. Like we can see players can do a lot of tricks, right? But the best in the world are cutting out the tricks. So guys, obviously there is a reason for it.
Yes.
Because when Ronaldo came to the Premier League, it was trick, 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 trick.
Yeah.
Look at Ronaldo now. It's just a goal machine.
Yeah.
Why? Because it works. So that's why sometimes you're better off by kicking the ball against the wall, controlling it well, and making sure you're always the boss of the ball.
Yeah.
That's when you're a good player. That was the key of Zidane, Maradona. They were the greats. They were my kind of admire, the people I was admiring.
Yeah,
because you know why? Zidane said it. If you don't have the ball under control, you can't dribble. So when it's bouncing, where are you going?
Yeah, exactly.
So look at the greats now. They are in control of the ball, and that's why they're so good.
Yeah. And you came from the system that is it's provided some of the best players that we've ever seen. And Holland has prided themselves, especially Ajax, of being a system that's gave us players like Patrick Kluivert and Edgar Davids. And there's just so many players that they just seem to have a farming system that they know how to develop players that go on to achieve great things. And I think that one thing that I want to bring up as well, because you just mentioned there is Cristiano Ronaldo, and it just triggered my mind. How did Cristiano Ronaldo transition? I read Alex Ferguson's biography. He put him up against Gary Neville every single practice, because if you can beat Gary Neville, you can beat a lot of different players in that position, because he was good in that position. So that got me thinking, what about a coach? What does a coach want to win?
It's so good when you say that, because Van Gaal did that with me against Mark Overmars.
Wow.
He played me on Mark Overmars when I was 19.
Because if you can play
Because he said, if you can
Overmars,
beat him, that means you're going to play in my team.
Yeah.
And he made me play in his team because of that.
That's
So
awesome.
so I understand where
system.
he comes from, because you want to play in the games and on training against the best.
Yeah.
Because that will make you better. It doesn't make you good if you play against a friend that you're going to dribble past him every minute of the day.
It does nothing.
It might feel good at the time, but it's not going to do it.
Why do we look at Messi and Ronaldo and now you're talking about? Because they are the best at this point in their career, and they're going at each other.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's what we want to watch, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. So that's what I was going to go on to the final question. Both you guys, is it different for a manager? Does a manager still want to win a World Cup trophy, or is a manager's best accolade a Champions League?
I mean, I think for most managers, look, like we said, the World Cup is the holy grail for everyone. But realistically, I mean, where do managers get chances to do stuff? I mean, domestic success is usually what gets them the chance to manage on the world stage. So being able to play. And look, I think most managers, especially younger managers, they say they don't want to do international football. It's usually kind of an older man's type of gig because they want the experience. They want to see you've won titles, and you don't get to work with your players every day.
Yeah.
You get them a couple weeks. They go back to their clubs.
Yeah.
A lot of players, like Arsene Wenger said several times, that the aspect of it that he likes is being able to work with these players day in, day out, develop these players, mold them into the footballers that he wants. So I think most managers like being more hands-on like that and think that winning, for them, the holy grail is winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
Winning domestic leagues and winning the Champions League. So for me, I think that's what managers would say.
You don't have control over because sometimes you could be a coach of a team far easier than being a coach of your national team because the spot doesn't always comes up. Most of the coaches sign a 4-year contract and they sit it out all the way because the country and the nation gives you the opportunity to sit longer on the throne.
Yeah.
While if you're a coach, it's slightly different, If you don't perform, look at Pellegrini now. You understand? He probably has a chance of maybe leaving Man City.
Yeah.
Okay, but if he was the coach of a national team, he would have, a little bit more time to build and create, and that's the whole difference between that. So that's why I agree. I think coaches will pick the Champions League quicker because the World Cup you don't have control to go after it.
Good. Well, that's what I wanted to know. That's the point I was thinking about too. So for players, it's the World Cup when they have the chance, and of course for coaches, I think we're in agreement. It's the Champions League because they're going to be given that opportunity. So we want to know what you guys think. Continue the conversation in the comments below. Thank you to our guest again, Mario Melchior. Follow him on Twitter @Mario Melchior and Joaquin @Morning Pint. And come back again for more clips.